Welcome back, everybody. Summer session is now upon us, so I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're staying cool. Just a reminder, of course, with our summer classes, drink plenty of water. The beauty of being at home and doing these classes virtually is if you need to sneak out to the bathroom, you can do that, or refill your water glass. Of course, you can do that as well. But we all get dehydrated this time of year, so when we start exerting ourselves, especially after a long day, sometimes we may not feel our best. So grab a glass of water, have it nearby your mat, just in case. At least chug it at the end of class if you haven't taken any sips throughout. So let's get started tonight. We will be doing classic yoga postures as we usually do, but we'll kind of ease back into it in case it's been a couple weeks since some of us have done any yoga, and I totally get that. Life gets crazy this time of year. So most importantly, I want you to check in with how you're feeling. If you want to close your eyes as we breathe deeply, go for it. Remember, nobody can see you. So really just notice how your body feels tonight, if it's stressed, if it's achy, if it's sore, if it's energized, whatever that is. Notice it, acknowledge it, and let's have the best practice we can have. All right? So let's start by laying flat on our backs. Letting our whole bodies relax, taking deep breaths. You may want to bring one hand to your chest, one hand to your abdomen, so you can really feel the body move under your hands. Many of us have a tendency, especially when we're sitting at our desks, to become chest breathers. And that doesn't sound bad, but our lungs are so strong, so big, so capable of breathing deeply. Sometimes we end up breathing short, shallow breaths only into the top of our chest. But instead, we want to breathe deeply, opening, expanding the chest in all directions, breathing deep into the belly as well as the back. So by placing our hands on the torso, we can really feel the body expand under the palms. Make the most of each breath. Try and lengthen it. And draw out each exhale, making it a little bit longer. Letting it relax the body and the mind. And we can come back to that deep breath. We should come back to that deep breath throughout not only our yoga practice, but through our daily lives. So this is something we can always check in on. I know, easier said than done. Sometimes we forget, but it can be a great way to refocus the mind on a busy workday. So on your next inhale, let's draw the heels together. Reach the arms overhead. Lengthen the body, pointing the fingers, pointing the toes. Think about lengthening your spine, becoming as tall as possible. Feel the abdominals and the muscles along the back gently lengthen. Breathe into them. Notice the way the breath feels different as you inhale with your arms over your head. And on your next exhale, bend both knees in towards your chest. Give them a little hug. And begin to rock side to side. Still breathe deeply. Find space in the sides of the ribs, the back. And then keep your right knee at your chest. Just lower your left leg down to the floor. You can straighten it out or sole the foot on the mat is fine. Let's start with this right leg. Warm it up. Point and flex the foot. Wiggle the toes. Draw circles with the toes, waking up the ankle. And then work your way up the leg to the hip. So start off small, rocking the leg side to side. And then gently circle the knee. Creating larger and larger circles. And go the opposite direction. Good. Pull the knee back into your chest. Give it a little hug. And then I want you to move your hands around to the right hamstring. So again, this is a muscle that gets tight, especially if we haven't lengthened it in a while. Straighten out the knee gently and reach the heel up towards the sky. So we want to feel this stretch all the way down the back of the right leg, maybe into the lower back, depending on each of our flexibilities. Pull the leg in a little bit if you can. Again, we want to feel a stretch, but it shouldn't be painful. You can point and flex the foot. Notice how that stretch changes. You'll feel it more in the calf when you lift your heel up high. And then bend the knee 90 degrees. Cup the right hand outside of the right knee or on the upper right shin. And then open the knee to the right side. Keep your hips grounded evenly, your shoulders back and relaxed on the mat. And feel this stretch through the right inner thigh. Good. Let's bring the knee back up towards center. Switch our grip. Left hand now holds the leg. Exhale, cross the right leg over to the left side. Keep the right shoulder planted, but the right hip will now lift off the floor. Feeling the stretch through the outside of the right hip into the lower back. Breathe deeply into that part of the body. Let it relax a little bit more. Good, let's gently release. Lift the right knee back up towards the sky and lower it down to the mat. You can keep the knee bent or extend the leg flat on the floor. Switching sides, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Again, give it a little hug before we begin. Feel that length through the hip. And then starting down at the foot, wiggle the toes, point and flex. Begin to circle the foot around. And then work your way up to the hip. Rock it side to side. And start those small circles. Maybe you have to slide your hands down so your circles can get a little bit bigger. And then go the opposite direction. Good. Pull the knee back in towards the chest. One more time. Give it a hug. Move your hands around to the left hamstring and begin to lengthen the leg, reaching the left heel up towards the sky, maintaining that gentle pull on the leg in towards the torso so we can get a stretch through the back side of the leg and the lower back. Good. Let's release the leg. I'm sorry, don't release the leg. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Bend the knee 90 degrees. Let's place the left hand on the left knee or upper shin and open the left leg down to the left. On your next inhale, lift the leg up towards the sky, switch your grip. And exhale, cross the left leg over to the right side while maintaining the left shoulder on the mat. Good, let's release. Bring the knee back up and all the way down. Good, take a deep breath. All right, hug both knees in towards your chest. Cross the ankles. And let's roll along the length of the spine. So tuck your chin towards your chest to really round the back of the body and make this roll a little bit more comfortable. And then come on up to a seated position. Keep the ankles crossed. Let the outer thighs drop down towards the mat. Let's sit up nice and tall, rolling our shoulders back, stacking them over the hips. And we'll move into our upper body warm-up. So let's do a couple shoulder rolls. Think about recruiting the muscles of the upper back while doing this. So squeeze the shoulder blades back and together. Keep breathing deeply. And a couple in the opposite direction. Good. All right. Let's lift our right arm up, inhaling. As we exhale, let's drop the right palm down to the outside of the left knee. Open the chest to the left gently and look over the left shoulder. So just a little baby spinal twist. We'll get into this a little bit more deeply once we're more warmed up. And let's release, come back through center. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, opposite side. Place the left palm on the right knee, open the chest to the right, look over the right shoulder. Continue breathing deeply. Good, let's release and come back to center. We're going to do some eagle arms to get a little bit more stretch through the upper back. So let's lift the right arm up, bend the elbow about 90 degrees, and then draw the forearm towards the midline of the body. Left hand is going to come underneath, up, in towards your face, and then reach the left fingers for the right palm. So our arms are crossed at the elbows, and I'd like you to lift the elbows up so they're in line with your shoulders. Okay? So once you lift the elbows up, you'll feel that stretch intensify a little bit. You should feel it between the shoulder blades or maybe even the backs of the shoulder. So let's hold this for a couple breaths, and we're not just keeping the elbows lifted, but we're also reaching the elbows away from us. So don't let your torso move. It's a very subtle movement, but think about reaching the pinky side edge of the hands and forearms just a little bit further from your shoulders. Breathe into the upper back. And on your next exhale, release the arms all the way down. We'll switch sides. Left arm up, elbow 90 degrees, and then pull the forearm in so it's in line with your nose. Right hand under, up, in towards the face, and then right fingertips along the left palm. Sometimes when we get that connection, our elbows droop down towards the chest. So lift the elbows up, and just as we did on the previous side, reach them gently away from the chest. Breathe deeply. Excellent. Let's take one more breath and then release the hands. Interlace them behind the tailbone. Roll the shoulders back. Reach the thumbs away from your hips. Look upwards as you lift the chest. So now we should feel this through the front of the body, the area by the collarbones, the chest, the fronts of the shoulders, maybe even the neck. And let's release. Excellent job. Maybe you want to shake out the arms and shoulders, and we're going to lean forward, planting the palms on the mat, and step back into downward dog. So first one of the night. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Notice how our body feels. Settle into the posture. Maybe we want to pedal our heels, depending how our calves and Achilles feel. Maybe they need a little extra love, a little extra stretch. Don't forget the arms. We want to rotate the creases of the elbows towards the top of the mat. So engage the muscles along the back side of the body. Get them working to help support us here. And then begin to walk your toes forward, tuck your chin towards your chest. Let's let the body hang forward over the thighs in our first forward fold. Maybe you want to ragdoll the upper body, get a little bit more stretch through the sides of the rib cage, the neck, the jaw. Good. Let's bring our hands around to the back of the ankles or calves. Pull the chest in a little bit closer. Reach the crown of your head down towards your toes. Find more intensity through the backside of the body. And let's release the legs and just come on up slowly until our shoulders are over our hips and our chin is lifted off our chest. Wonderful. Step towards the top of your mat. If you're not already there, let's move into some sun salutations. So inhaling and exhaling, palms together at the center of our chest. Inhale, lift the arms up, gently arch back, and exhale, forward fold, fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, right leg, big step back, lower the knee, flatten the top of the foot to the mat. Drop your hips down and forward as you look upwards. Feel that stretch through the hip flexor. Curl the right toes and exhale, left leg back to plank. Draw the abdominals in. Let's keep a straight line running down the back of the body. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press to the palms, lift the crown, look upwards. Curl the toes as you exhale, lift the hips up and back, coming into downward dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up. Gently arch back, and exhale, release, arms by the sides. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, forward fold, fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press to the palms, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, curl the toes, hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release, arms by the sides. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back. Knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes. Exhale, left leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. And exhale, downward dog, hips up and back, root down through the heels. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. And exhale, release. Arms by the side, shoulders back and away from the ears. Take a couple nice deep breaths. Hope you feel nice and toasty now. So let's try and relax our breath, get it back to a normal rhythm, if that felt exerting to you. And we're gonna work on our tree pose. So it's important to keep breathing, but of course, a more steady breath will be a more steady body. So let's root down through the left foot, spread the toes as wide as you can, lift the eyes up, find a point to focus on, something that's not moving. Rooting down to the left foot while keeping the knee soft, a slight bend. Begin to peel the right foot off of the mat. Notice how you're feeling tonight. Maybe you want to step that right foot on top of the left. Maybe you want to bring it to the left inner calf. Or skipping over the knee, maybe you want to bring the right foot to the left inner thigh. All are good placement. Just remember, no sideways pressure on the ankle or knee joint. Once your right foot's in place, let's think about lengthening and growing taller out of the left leg. Hands can remain on your hips, come to your heart, or you can lift your hands up overhead. Let's take one more breath here and come down with the same control. Lower the arms, Lower the right leg back to the mat. Checking in, taking a deep breath here in mountain pose. Okay, same thing, opposite side. So many of us are a little bit stronger on the right side. So if you felt wobbly on the left leg, maybe this is your side tonight. Rooting down through the right foot, toes wide, knees soft, shoulders back. At your own pace, peel the left foot off the floor. Find placement for it along the right leg. And you can try something different for the hands or use what works. But remember, we're growing tall out of that right side of the body, so don't let the hips slide to the right, but rather pull them up and stack them on top of the knee, on top of the ankle. Excellent job. Let's lower the arms, lower the left leg down, and shake it out. Wonderful. Okay, so let's come towards the back of our mat so we have plenty of space in front of us, and we're going to move into pyramid pose. So we're going to take the right foot and step forward about astride, maybe even a little bit more if we're up for it. Our hips, shoulders, chest, everything is facing forward. Our toes are facing forward and they're parallel to one another. Bring the hands to the hips. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, hinge forward. So keep that straight line down the back of your body from your head to your tailbone. I can see you guys on my monitor. You look great. Keep breathing and hold it there. Take out any tension on the upper neck by pulling your chin in a little bit closer towards your chest. We should be gazing downwards, just ahead of our toes. Good, let's exhale and we're going to press into the feet and come back up. So we're going to do a little variation of that before we go deeper. So to get a little bit more open through the chest and collarbones, we're either going to grab the opposite elbow behind the back of the body, or you can try reverse prayer position. It's exactly as it sounds. We're bringing the palms together behind the back, fingertips pointing upwards, okay? So if you can't quite get the palms together, that's okay. The connection of the pinkies is fine, or just try the opposite elbows, okay? So our feet haven't moved. We're keeping the right foot forward. We're keeping our hips, chest, and shoulders towards the top of the mat, but now our shoulders are back, our chest is open and lifted. We're going to take an inhale, lengthen through the torso and the crown of the head, and exhale, hinge forward again. So breathe into those muscles along the backs of our legs that are feeling that stretch. Try and relax your chest and torso down just a little bit further. Take a deep breath in. And then on your next exhale, release the hands and let's drop them down towards the mat, rounding forward, folding over the right leg, drawing your chin towards your chest. So we're looking towards the right knee. And your hands can come to the mat. Maybe they're along the right leg if that's more comfortable tonight. Or if you're looking for more intensity, you can actually inch your fingertips further from your hips. So think about creating a longer line from your tailbone down your spine towards your fingers. Let's take one more inhale. And as we exhale, press into the soles of the feet and let's just round up. Stack the back, roll the shoulders back, lift the chin. Well done. Let's switch sides. So shake out both legs. Step the left foot forward, right foot back. Remember a stride or maybe a little bit longer. Feet are parallel. Torso and hips are facing forward. Starting with the hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, grow tall. Exhale, hinge forward. We'll feel that stretch down the back of the left leg most intensely now. Let's release, lift the chest back up. And now bringing the arms behind the body, holding the opposite elbow or reverse prayer position, or try something different than you tried on the previous side. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge forward. Nice tall spine. Good. On your next exhale, release the arms. Drop the hands down towards the mat or along the left leg. Let your chest relax towards the left thigh. Draw your chin towards your chest and breathe. Inhale, and exhale, press through the feet, come all the way up. Well done, shoulders back, step the feet together at the back of your mat. And take a deep breath. Again, feel free at any time to grab a drink of water. We're going to make our way down into chair pose. So feet under the hips, toes forward, hands in prayer position. Let's inhale. Exhale, we move. Bend the knees, reach back through the tailbone, sink down, keep the weight evenly distributed. Turn on those quads and hamstrings and glutes. So when we're sinking down into that low invisible chair, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, draw our hip bones towards our ribs. Feel the quads really engaging and keeping us supported. They're going to start warming up and making us a little bit more toasty. Find a point to focus on. Excellent. Let's take one more breath. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your fingertips down towards the mat and then lift the tailbone up, coming into our standing forward fold. Let the torso, head, neck, and jaw really relax. So again, maybe you want to ragdoll the body. Just letting all those supporting muscles relax. Let them sink down towards the mat. As your body relaxes into this posture, maybe you can straighten out the knees a little bit more, or maybe you can lengthen the spine a little bit more and relax the crown of your head down towards your toes. If you're looking for a more intense stretch, bring the hands around to the back of the calves or ankles and gently pull the torso down. Up to you, all about how you're feeling tonight. Good, let's bring our fingertips down to the mat if they're not already there. Lift your heels up. Sink the hips down to meet them. Balance on the balls of the feet, building strength through the feet and ankles. Inch your fingertips back, lifting the shoulders, trying to stack the shoulders over the hips. Maybe we can lift our hands, one or both, off of the mat. Maybe they're just coming off an inch tonight. Maybe they're coming up to our heart. Excellent. Hands to the mat. Gently lower the knees. Keep the toes tucked. Feel that stretch through the soles of the feet. Good. Hands to the mat, flatten the tops of the toes. Let's sit back on our heels for hero pose and do a couple stretches of the upper body. So roll the shoulders back several times, forward several times. So they're nice and relaxed. And then let them relax back and down. Pick up the right arm, keep the elbow straight, and pull it across the chest. So use the left hand to gently pull that arm in a little bit closer. And let's release. Opposite side, left arm up, elbow straight. Use the right hand to help pull the left arm across the chest. Make sure you're not reaching your left shoulder forward. We want to keep our shoulders back and stacked over the hips. We're only moving the arm here. Good, let's release, shoulders back. And now our tricep stretch. So right arm up, bend the elbow, left hand to the right elbow, pull it towards the center of your body. Let the shoulder relax, let the fingertips relax and hang between the shoulder blades. You can continue to hold the right arm here, or if you're up for it tonight, bring the left hand to the lower back, slide it up the spine, and reach the left fingers for the right, or a portion of your shirt, or if you have a strap nearby, you can use one of those as well. Hold it here, breathing deeply. If you've got your right hands, or your hands connected, I should say, lift the chin up and look straight ahead. Good, let's release, roll it out, and switch sides. Left arm up, bend the elbow, right hand, draw it in towards the center of the body. And then keep the left arm where it is, right hand to the lower back. Again, you can keep the previous variation, reach the right hand up the back for the left fingers. Good, let's release and roll out the shoulders. Okay. All right, so let's walk the body forward. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Curl the toes, lift up through the tailbone, root down through the heels. Rotate the creases of the elbows towards the top of your mat. On your next inhale, let's reach the right leg up. And exhale, step it forward, bring it between the hands. So maybe you can use that lift to help swing the leg forward. Drop the hips down and forward towards the top of your mat. Maybe you need to wiggle the left heel back a little bit in order to get as deep as possible. We want to feel this stretch through the left hip flexor, quad, maybe the inner thigh. Holding it, breathing deeply. Think about lengthening the spine. We always want to be nice and tall. Practice nice tall posture throughout all of our asana practice. So reach through the crown of the head. Good. On your next exhale, gently lower the back knee and flatten the top of the foot to the mat. Sometimes we can feel a little too much pressure on the back knee, so you may want to push the top of the foot down as well to help share that weight. So bring the right hand between the left hand and the right foot and walk the right foot a couple inches out to the right. We're moving into lizard pose. So let's rotate the right toes towards the top right corner of the mat. And then I want you to open from the hip. So the whole outside of the right leg is moving together. Roll onto the outside pinky side edge of the foot. But again, the movement is coming from the hip, not the knee, okay? So if this is too intense and you're feeling any pain in the knee or the ankle, please pull the leg back in towards your torso. Again, you can move slowly because we want to feel that stretch through the hip, through the inner thigh. So somewhere maybe in the middle might work best. So once you've got that leg open, we can continue holding it here, or if you're up for more intensity, you can bend the elbows in towards the torso and lower your chest towards the mat a little bit at a time. So depending what you're up for tonight, you may be able to get one or both forearms down to the mat, but straight arms or bent elbows, perfectly fine. Excellent. Let's begin to straighten out the arms. If you've got the forearms on the mat or the elbows bent, so lift the chest back up and bring the right foot back to the floor, okay? So draw the knee back up towards the sky. Walk the knee back in so it's in line with your hip, and then place your right hand back on the outside of the right leg. Take another nice deep breath here. And then walk your hands up the right leg, bringing them to the right thigh. Roll the shoulders back. Let's stack them over our hips. So just because we've lifted the torso doesn't mean we've shifted the hips at all. Let's keep them down and forward as much as possible. Here's where you may feel that pressure building in the left knee. So press, press, press through the top of the left foot. Bring the hands around to the back of the body, interlacing the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and slide the knuckles down the back leg, theoretically, reaching the knuckles for the back heel. Chest is open and lifted. Look upwards. Excellent. Let's release the hands. Bring them down to the mat on either side of the right leg. And now press your hips up and back, straightening out the right leg, lifting the toes. Find that length through the torso. So we're flattening out the back or the spine, and then hinging at the hips, bringing the front of the chest down towards that right leg. Relax the muscles that might be fighting against you. Breathe deeply into the hamstring and the calf. Good. Let's walk the hands forward, lower the right toes, sink back into our low lunge. Hold it here, breathe deeply. Inhale. And exhale again. Walk the hands back, straighten out the right leg, lift the toes, lengthen the torso, and hinge over the thigh. So sometimes we need to do this a couple times to get a little bit deeper. Good, let's release, walk the hands forward, that's it. I promise we're not gonna do that one again tonight. So frame the foot, curl the left toes under, lift the left knee, and let's step back to downward dog. So pedal out the heels, notice the difference. That left hip flexor might be complaining a little bit. Might feel very different than the right one, so we're gonna even it out now. So root down through the right heel or right foot so we can stabilize the body. Lift the left foot up towards the sky and exhale, step it forward. Plant the foot between our hands. Maybe we need to move it into place, that's fine. Drop the hips down and forward, lengthen the torso, reach through the crown, create a nice long line down the back of your body. Excellent. Let's lower the right knee, flatten the top of the foot. Moving into lizard. So walk the left foot a couple inches to the left, pick up the left hand and place it under the left shoulder. Now turn the left toes towards the top left corner of your mat. And remember, we're going to open up from the left hip. So kind of drop the outside of the left leg towards the floor, rolling onto the pinky side edge of the foot. Take a couple breaths. Notice how your body feels. Maybe we can begin to bend the elbows or come down to the forearms. This side may feel totally different than the previous one, so we want to move slowly. For me, this side is a little bit tighter. Good, let's release. So straighten out the arms, bring the palms back to the mat, and then lower the sole of the left foot back to the floor. Begin to walk that foot back in so it's in line with the hip, and place the left hand back on the outside of the left foot. Take a deep breath. And let's walk our hands up that left leg. Bring the hands to the left thigh. Again, just checking in here. Dropping the hips down and forward, noticing that our shoulders are stacked over our hips. And the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and together and reach the knuckles all the way down that back leg for your right heel. Press the top of the right foot deeply into the mat. Feel that stretch intensify through the right quad, hip flexor, maybe the abdominals, the chest. Breathe deeply. And release. Good. Hands to the mat, frame the foot. Take a breather. All right, moving into our hamstrings. So take a deep breath and exhale, press the hips back, straightening out the left leg, lift the toes, elongate the spine, and hinge. Lower the chest down towards the left quad, looking downwards towards your mat, or maybe even a little bit back towards your right knee. Good, let's release. Walk the hands forward, come back into our low lunge. Nice deep breath. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, walk the hips back, lift the toes, hinge forward. Maybe we can come down a little bit deeper. And release, walk the hands forward, frame the left foot, curl the right toes under and step back to downward dog. Hips up, reach down through the heels. On your next inhale, again, we'll lift the right leg up towards the sky, bend the knee this time, and as you exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest, shifting the weight forward. Let's move into pigeon. So lower the knee between your hands, relax the left leg back. Inhale, lift your chest, grow nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward over the right leg. So again, if it's been maybe a couple days, couple weeks since you've done this, feel free to adjust the angle of the right leg. All of us are different body proportions, different flexibilities. So sometimes it feels more comfortable if you plant the right knee, plant the right knee outside of the right wrist rather than between the wrists. So you can play around with it a little bit. But whatever position you land on, let your upper body relax as much as possible. Try not to roll to the right side, but keep your hips even distance above the mat. And breathe deeply into our stretch. Good, let's release. Lift the chest, walk the hands back. Plant the hands on either side of the right knee. Curl the left toes and let's step back to downward dog. Switching sides. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee. Exhale, shift the weight forward. Lower the knee. Relax the right leg back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Good, let's release, lift the chest up. Root down into the left hip, keeping the left leg bent in front of us. We're going to swing the right leg around and plant the right foot on the outside of the left thigh. Push down into the right hip so we are grounded. Our weight is evenly distributed through the sits bones. Right hand comes behind the back. Lift the chest. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, lower the left arm on the outside of the right knee or thigh, opening the chest and upper back towards the right side of your room, and look over the right shoulder. So try and keep the full inside of the right foot planted on the mat, including that right toe, the right big toe, I should say. Sometimes we kind of drop that knee down, but keep it nice and tall. Good, let's release. We're going to switch sides. So the right leg is going to come down to the mat in front of us. Step the left leg across, root down into the left hip, left hand behind the back. Inhale, right arm up, and exhale, lower it on the outside of the left thigh, open the chest, and look over the left shoulder. Good, let's release, bring the chest forward, and now bring the left leg over to the left side of the body, right foot to the mat, and use your abdominals to assist you as you lean back, rolling the spine back and down to the mat, letting your head relax, taking a couple nice deep breaths. From here, we're going to lift into shoulder stand. If you're not up for shoulder stand tonight, you can always do legs up the wall for a more restorative version, or you can just remain here for a couple breaths. We'll be back down shortly. So for shoulder stand, starting here, tuck the shoulder blades, maybe tucking your shirt. That really is the first step, tucking your shirt. Then tuck the shoulder blades, palms down to the mat next to your hips. Use the abs to draw the knees in towards your chest. Press through the center of the palm, lift the tailbone. Bend the elbows, bring the hands to the lower back. Walk them up the back of the body. Bring the hips over the shoulders, and then when you're ready, you can begin to lift the feet up towards the sky. If you're more comfortable tonight keeping the knees bent, go for it. Any of these versions are good. We're still getting that blood flow from the legs back down to the heart, to the thyroid, to the brain. Excellent. So bend the knees in towards your face, and we're going to just roll on down. So round the back of the body, gently lower the hips, and then bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Take a deep breath. Walk your heels in towards your glutes. Continue reaching your arms along your sides. Try and rest your fingertips or kind of pinch the back of your ankles with your fingers. Tuck the shoulder blades under your chest. Take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, press through the soles of the feet, lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes, use the hamstrings, draw the knees together and engage the inner thighs to help build strength through the lower body. Continue to breathe deeply here. Excellent. On your next exhale, ease the back down one vertebrae at a time. Finally lowering the tailbone. Take a nice deep breath. Let's pick the right leg up. Place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Reach the right hand through the legs, left hand to the outside of the left thigh, and gently draw the legs in towards your chest. So this is a reclining pigeon. We're still getting that stretch through the right side of the hip. Again, maybe the inner thigh, depending on our bodies. If you want more intensity, you can walk your hands to the front of the left shin, or you can press the right elbow into the right thigh and push it away from the body. Let's release the hands, but keep the legs where they are just for a second, and lower the left foot down to the floor. Slide the right leg towards the left. So bring your inner thighs together. Right knee is now stacked on top of the left knee. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Place your hands on your knees. So right hand is on the left leg, left hand is actually on the right leg. And we're going to attempt to slide our hands down towards our ankles. Maybe they're not going to get quite that far tonight. But think about drawing the insides of your ankles up towards your forehead. So we're moving our legs actually away from one another. And if you're pulling enough, again, gently, we don't want to put any sideways pressure on the knees. So we're actually opening up and rotating the thighs. So we're going to feel this just inside the sits bone. Good. You can release the legs, but don't untwist them just yet. Lower the left foot down to the mat. And now very gently lower both stacked knees over towards the left. So now we're getting a gentle spinal twist. We can relax our arms down towards our sides, maybe looking over the right shoulder, breathing deeply. And let's bring the knees back up. Place the right foot down on the floor, and we're going to switch sides. So pick up the left leg, left ankle on top of the right thigh, left hand through the legs, right hand on the outside. Draw the knees towards your chest. Good. Let's release. Lower the right foot to the floor. Slide the left leg so our inner thighs connect and the left knee is stacked on top of the right. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Right hand comes to the left knee, left hand comes to the right knee, and slide our hands down the shins until they're maybe halfway there, maybe all the way to our ankles, just gently pulling the legs in towards our torso. I know someone that calls this wishbone, and I don't know if I like what that invokes, that image, but if that helps you think about what we're looking like in this pose, go for it. All right, let's release. Lower the right foot to the mat, and then we're gently going to lower both knees, keeping them stacked, over to the right side. Look over your left shoulder. Good, let's bring our knees back up and lower our heels down to the mat, about mat width apart. Let the toes roll towards the outside corners of the room. Let your arms relax halfway between your hips and your shoulders. Let your head rest on its natural center. Sometimes we need to look right and then look left before we find that space. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, filling the chest, back, and abdomen. And as you exhale, let the whole body relax. Let it sink down into the mat. And continue breathing deeply, letting your body relax a little bit more with each breath. Letting your mind relax as well, letting go of any thoughts, plans, or ideas. If they arise, that's totally normal. Acknowledge those thoughts and then bring your awareness back to your breath and back to your physical body. Bring your awareness all the way down your body to your feet. Begin to mentally repeat after me. My toes, feet, and heels are releasing and relaxing. My toes, feet, and heels are released and relaxed. My ankles, calves, and knees are releasing and relaxing. My ankles, calves, and knees are released and relaxed. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are releasing and relaxing. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are released and relaxed. My abdomen and lower back are releasing and relaxing. My abdomen and lower back are released and relaxed. My fingers, hands, and wrists are releasing and relaxing. My fingers, hands, and wrists are released and relaxed. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are releasing and relaxing. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are released and relaxed. My chest, back, and shoulders are releasing and relaxing. My chest, back, and shoulders are released and relaxed. My neck, head, and face are releasing and relaxing. My neck, head, and face are released and relaxed. My mind is calm, my breathing is even, and I am completely relaxed. Om. Gently bring awareness back to your body, moving your fingers and toes. Lift your arms overhead, elongating the body. Reach your arms towards the right corner of the room, and then back over to the left. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Begin to roll onto your right side, planting your left palm in front of your chest and pressing back up to a seated position. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Namaste. Great job tonight, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is a great way to kick off the summer, so I'm so glad we're back together, practicing together again. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay cool, drink some water, and I will see you next week.